Hello, I'm Stewart. Usually I'll be out and about looking at new things, trying out new things. However, for this first series of videos, I'm building this shed. Now, in the first video, I built a nice strong base for the shed made out of decking and deck boards. In this video, I'm going to be doing the cladding in the walls and the frame to support it. Shed's made from wood from a builder's merchant and basic hand tools for the most part. However, this is where I've got one of the exceptions. If you were to try and cut all the wood for this shed using just a handsaw, you'd be there all day. You're an absolute hero, but don't do it. So two alternatives: you can use a jigsaw. Jigsaws range from £20–30 for a basic model, or you can use a miter saw. The miter saw you'll see me using just a wee bit is middle of Lidl kind of thing. I think it was about £40, £45 a couple of years ago. They're now about £50–60. It's highly recommended you do get some kind of power saw to make all the cuts needed for this. I'm going to now pass back to me in the past, and we're going to start doing some work. Hopefully you can see this. So I've washed the deck and I was in two minds what to do with the damp-proof course here. I was thinking of stapling it up there, but if I did that, I was worried that some water would get into this gap and then sit against the timber, and you can actually see there is actually water sitting against the timber there. So I don't want that. I'm going to get some scissors and I'm going to cut that away. Just remove that opportunity for it to happen. Cut, and I'll pin that back there, and that'll stop any water collecting and holding it against the timber. We've had a delivery. The bad news was it came when I was at work today. Now I placed this order back on Sunday, and the email I got says delivery will be 5 to 7 days and we'll give you a shout beforehand. And so when I was at work today, it turned up out of the blue and they just left it outside on the pavement. So my wife kindly carried all this through by herself. They wouldn't even unload onto the driveway, they just dumped it in the pavement. But can't leave it on the grass. I'm going to be a few days until I need it, so I'm going to have to get it stacked up nicely to let the air flow through it. You kitty? Aye, yeah. What are you up to? I hope that doesn't collapse on you. So it's pretty dark now. The camera makes it look so much lighter than it actually is, but that is all the wood stacked nice and neatly. So hopefully water won't get into it too much, but I know the water will, but it's the best I can do. And just absolute kudos to the wife for managing to bring all that in from the front of the garden, because that was heavy, so well done to her. This is what happens when you keep your circular saw outside for a few years. Oh dear. Right. Not good. So let's get this stripped down, get it greased up. So I've stripped it down, I've oiled it. Most of the problem seems to be in old sawdust that just got caught in all the gaps, and then if it's got wet and it sat and choked things up. That seems to be moving okay. Slight play in the bearing there, but not too bad. I think I'll live with that. The only problem with it seems to be this guard doesn't slide as well as it should do. Could give a few problems, but overall I'm quite happy. I'm going to put it back together now and see if it goes. Okay, so it's been taken apart, it's been put back together again, and time to see if it works. Not bad. Still there's an issue with Get that off. Oh, that's actually much better than it was as well. There is an issue with his guards. Just this bracket here seems to be stopping the guard from moving automatically, so I'll have to have another look at that bit. We can cut wood. First video you saw me repurpose an existing deck, and I've now made this 2.4 metre by 3 metre very sturdy deck. These videos are going to be the framing and cladding and building the walls. Slight thing about the design, I'm using these fence posts. They are 75 by 75 by 1.8 metres, and they're going to be my corners. Like so, and like so. Next, using these bits of wood. This is all I could get from the sawmill if I don't fall over. These are notionally 2x1. They're actually 47-48mm by 22mm, and this is going to be my frame and also my top and bottom. So this is going to go one there and one up there. So now the bit that everybody hates, the maths bit. It's easy enough. This deck is 2400 across. That post is 75mm across, 75mm across. So I have to do 2400, take away 75, take away 75, equals 2250. And that's what I'm going to cut these 4 bits to. So just a quick tip, a lot of the videos I've been watching, they've got guys who are using these things called speed squares. I'm normally just use a standard tri-square. I've got an adjustable tri-square. If you don't have either of those, you can use a simple saw like this. On the saw handle, you might notice there's actually 2 angles there. One is 90 degrees and one is 45 degrees, and it's as simple as this. I've made my mark on a bit of wood. I'm going to hold my saw handle against it. That gives me my 90 degrees, and I can mark there. Okay, and as my dad often says, measure twice, cut once. I'm going to take that up, I'm going to put it between the 2 boards, and I'm going to check before I cut. Okay, so if I put this post into position here on the edge, like so, and this other one here as well, if I put this into position there and then line my bit of wood up against it and down there, you'll see that my line is coming in timber. My line's coming in bang on. That's what you do. Measure twice, cut once. Right, we've now got our 4 bits of wood that are going to be top, bottom and top, bottom for the 2 side walls. Here's a bit it gets a wee bit complicated. My measurements across are 2400, take away 75, take away 75, that leaves 2250. We want to have uprights going about there, etc. But how many do we do? Well, the gap between uprights we want to be between 400 and 600. This is where it gets better if you get a wee book, and in my wee book, as you'll see here, I've done lots of sketches, lots of calculations, thinking the whole thing down. So my shed, or my side walls, I want to have, how many is it now? 1, 2, 3, 4 gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4 gaps, and you're going to have an upright here, uplights in the middle and an uplight at the end. So 4 gaps is 6 uplights. See, even with the numbers in front of me, I'm struggling to remember what I'm wanting to do. So I'm going to do 6 for this side, 6 for that side. I'm going to cut 6 of these bits of wood. Next, how much do we cut them by? Well, as I said before, these are 22 thick. I'm going to have a 22 thick up here. So 1800, take away 22, take away 22, and I've not practiced this beforehand, so I'm going to have to do some maths on the spot. 1800, 22, 22, so it's going to be 1800, 1780, 1760, 1756, and I'll flash up on the screen if I've got my maths wrong there. So 12 bits, what did I say? 1756. Oh, right. So just cut the first one off camera. Let's check it. That's going to go there, and you can see that gap at the top, 22, which is going to take one of these. So there just now. Yeah, I think it'll work. Now that I've got a template, I need to do another 11 of these the exact same. And the best way to do this is set up a stop. Screw it to the wood, which means it's going to come in hard. So let's go get some scrap wood and nails. Bang on. So let's try the first one. One up. Get the power off before it gets too wet. Welcome back, and I know what you're thinking. You've not been anywhere. Due to the lovely way that things are filmed, I started the shed project back in September last year. My plan was to finish the shed over the October holidays, and what then happened is I booked a holiday and went away and had some fun down in the south of England. And then it was November, December, it was very busy for Christmas, it's dark, it's wet, didn't do anything to the shed then, and then I got hit quite badly by Storm Erin, whatever that storm was called, and had some damage to the house that I had to fix. So it's now the February half term and I'm back on the shed project. So first of all, let's go into Screwfix, let's get some nails, back to the shed, and we'll see what wood we have to cut. So just to show you what I bought, first of all, these are a bit of a mistake. I thought I was going to get more in a packet than that. These are big old 100mm 4-inch nails that I was going to use for putting the frame together. They're not cheap. I've got some other nails in the house, so I'll use them, but if I run out, I'm not too bothered, I'm not buying them again. And these ones, I just wanted a box. This is a kilogram box of 2-inch nails, and I'm going to be using these for putting the cladding onto the frame, so that should do the job nicely. Galvanised, so they won't go rusty and good. And if you wonder what that is, it's because I've still got a bit of storm damage I'm going to fix while I'm up on the roof. So back home, and it's 4 degrees, but it says with wind chill it's actually 0 just now. How we left it, with the delivery of the wood, I left all my plywood sitting upright and the rain got to it and it bent it all. So what I've then done is I've just laid that flat on this decking here, got a couple of bits of 3-inch square fence post on it just to try and flatten it down. So I think I've got away with it. It's not delaminated. It's kind of getting straight enough that I should be able to put it onto the roof. But that was a lucky escape, nearly ruined all that. This pile of wood here is exactly as I cut it when the rain started to fall at the start of October last year. So I just need to remember what I've cut and what I was intending to do with it, because my plans have changed that many times. I noticed in one of the videos I said I was looking at 6 gaps and then 4 gaps and then 5 gaps. Let's go get a measuring tape and figure out what I was going to do. Laid this out, doubled them up because it's 2 sides. I just want to get the lengths correct. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gaps, 6 uprights. But some's not quite right with the length, because if that, of course not, it's because I put 2 bits of wood there, you absolute idiot. Right. Oh yeah, it fits now. Okay, now we need to go and do some maths. And so here is the maths. So the length of my side is going to be 2400 millimeters long. Take away one of the posts, 75mm. Take away the other post, 75mm. And then we've got 6 uprights. Each upright is 22 millimeters. So 6 times 22 is 132. If you take all that off of the 2400, it leaves you with 2118. And we've got 5 gaps. 1, 2, have we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 gaps. Divide 2118 by 5. That means each gap is to be 423.6. So I'm going to make up a set of inner spacers, and I'm going to make each of them 423.6 millimeters long. Alright, so I've just cut them off camera, and these are what's called the noggins by Rag and Bone Brown, so if it's good enough for him, I'll call them noggins as well. So just going to shove one in here just to give it a check. That means that one's going to come in there. Let's just mark the position. Do the next one. That one's going to come in there. Again, this is going back to my dad. Measure twice, cut once. Thank you, Mr. A. Just left the markings position. I'm not going to actually use those markings. This is just for me checking it. Right, this one comes over here. Mark that. And this one should fit. Yeah, almost does. It's a few millimeters out, so I've got a gap of about 5 millimeters at the end here. I don't think you can see that, but these are going to get cut to place anyway. I just wanted these roughly for now. I think we're ready to start nailing it together. So here's the nails we got yesterday at Screwfix. This is the 2-inch ones. Take some of them. And I'm just going to show you the detail of what we're going to do here. So this is going to be my post. It's going to sit there. This is the bottom. It's going to run along there, and this is my uprights. So 2-inch nail. It's not going to work with one hand, is it? And that's the first nail. Where'd I leave the noggins? Alright, first one in. This one. There's the supervisor. Hello. Right, so got a couple of offcuts here. It's always good if you can plan your offcuts and you know what you're going to use so you can be more efficient. But for 2 noggins, 460, I'm just finding bits of wood that have previously been cut. In this case, this was snapped on delivery, so makes a good opportunity to use that one up. So we've got 2 bits marked out now, 460. I'm going to cut it off camera because I'm dangerous enough if this saw. The last thing we need is me to try and film myself and cut at the same time. Okay, so it is noggin time. So we are going to put these noggins, I unzoom this a wee bit. Oh, wrong way. We're going to put these noggins approximately halfway down the length of these. The position isn't super critical, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure from the top to the bottom. I'm going to divide it by 2 and I'm going to put a line marking halfway along it, and I'll put 1 below the halfway line, 1 above it, 1 below, 1 above. That last one will just get cut to place. You'll watch me do it, you'll watch me make a mistake and none of you said anything about it. I was measuring the distance from there to there and I was saying yeah it's 460. But I don't need a bit of wood 460 because you need to take off the width of a bit of wood, so I actually need it. $440 from there. That's why they're too big, so I'm away to take another 20mm off the end. Look at them, they're nice, aren't they? Next up, we should be cladding that, but I'm just going to try something else. I picked up a roll of this, I think it was in B&Q, it's 15 quid, and it's called a temporary moisture barrier. It is 2.5 metres wide, 15 metres long, and my plan is I'm going to put that onto the frame before I put the cladding on top, because it can't hurt, can it? Maybe it will hurt, maybe it will lock the moisture in, maybe it will keep the moisture out. I don't know, I'm going to try it. Of course now it's just dawned on me that maybe I should have used some of that vapour barrier to protect the wood over the winter so that it's not sitting getting wet, but too late for that now. As I say, 15 quid, it can't hurt it, we'll see. Also means I can put some insulation in behind it if it comes to that. So I'm going to go and have some lunch now while these act as giant sales, so who knows where I'll find these when I come back. Down the centre posts, I've not attached them yet, and here is my cladding, and measured that, it's 2250, so now I need to go and cut 32 bits of this cladding 92250. Always worth remembering the saw blade is like, this one's got 5mm thickness, so remember which side you're cutting on. This is the side I want to keep. I've marked my line here. This is the side I want to remove. So when I bring the saw blade down, get it on the right side. That's still a bit sticky. Okay, here we go. Of course, I've not switched the power back on after lunch. Slightly out there, I need to lift that up a wee bit. It's sitting up. Let's get it exact. Let's see if it fits. So to explain the setup I've got going here, this is a bit of wood I've just cut, I've been over checked it, it fits. So now I want 16 copies of the exact same. The way I've done this is I've locked the blade of the saw down and I've put the bit of wood against the blade. Down that end I've just got a big plastic tub full of water and a couple of intermediate supports. So now I know that's the right size. Keep an eye on this just to make sure that I'm cutting it right. Let's get that up. Set that on. Set that in. Let's go. Let's see if these are the exact same length. Should be. They are. Let's keep it going. It's the Emirates A380 off to Dubai. And meanwhile, this big load of offcuts, we'll be using that on the front of the shed anyway, so don't worry about that too much. And move back here. This is ready to get nailed onto that. Got the camera low down, I hope you can see me. This is a plan. I've got this 75mm post. It's going to go right on the corner here. And we've got the wall that's going to come up and bolt or screw onto the side of this post. Funny noises. And this is my shiplap, I believe we call it. And the shiplap is, it's almost like a tongue and groove. We've got the sticky out bit here, the tongue, and we've got a recess here that it fits into. So the tongue goes up and the recess goes down. I want this to slightly cover the bottom of that, so any water hitting this will run down the outside of this bit of wood. So first of all, when I put my first bit on here, I need to make sure it's going to hang down those 10mm of the rebate. So I think it's time to start nailing this onto that. Just moving this so you can see what I'm doing. I want that right on the bottom, and I want that edge hanging over the edge. That's exactly in line. I'm only going to hold this in with one nail. I'm going to put the nail where the tongue is, so you won't actually even see the nails. So I nail that one there. And on the other end. Just don't know if I should put ones in the middle or not. That is wet. I guess I should put ones in the middle. Put one there. So another learning opportunity, and that's because I am still learning this. I've been putting one nail into the tongue of the shiplap and sitting that on top. Of course, it means there's absolutely nothing holding this on because I should have been putting two nails in, so I should have one there and maybe about one there. Don't have to do it all the way across, just to two ends. So I'm just going to go back, correct that mistake, and then carry on doing that. I highly recommend, instead of a nail gun, you get a sacrificial child.
Child labour.
Nice.
Very good.
So there we go. We've now got two walls finished, apart from the wee bit at the end. That's going to be the top, that's the bottom. That'll get finished off with a bit of wood after I've put the top on. I just need to get that fit to place. The reason they're on their side is because of the aforementioned wee lip here that's going to go along this bottom edge here to try and direct the water away. Next time you see these will be painted. I'm going to shut it down for the day. I'm going to actually use those to try and protect some of the other wood as well, because it might be a couple of days before I get back to this. Hello, March 8th now, and the entire, no, let's do this again, that's crap. Hello, no, hello, March 8th, now got two complete sidewalls, and off camera, using the exact same techniques as the sidewalls, I've now got a back wall fully painted, ready to assemble. So that's where we're going to finish this video. Next video, we're going to be putting the walls up. Let's start framing the roof, and of course we've not got the front walls yet. Let's do some of that as well.